Welcome to Not Ashamed. I'm your host, Ashley Nordman. Sarah Ann, thank you so much for being here today. And welcome. Haters on social media. So yeah, setting boundaries is huge. Not giving a shit what they say because you know who you are deep down.
Yes.
I'm trying to think what else. I mean, like boundary setting, like I said, like just making sure you like don't look at that shit. And at first it's really hard because you like want to.
Yeah.
But after a while, you just like stop. You just don't want that stuff filling your mind, you know? And so... You're like, I'm taking notes over here. What else do I do? Okay. Yeah. But I will say, there is a time and place to like stand up for yourself, right? Like when people make crazy allegations, it's like, come on now, I'm not going to let you just get away with that. So I think you have to like pick your battles. Like if it's something little like, she looks so ugly. Okay, fine. But if it's like, oh, we think you're, I don't know, doing drugs, like I'm getting claimed for right now. It's like, I'm going to stand up about that.
Are people saying that you're doing drugs?
Yes. Apparently, just because me and my friends go out and like to be social, apparently I'm a drug addict. So I'm like, okay. Yeah. So it's like when people did that to me, I'm like, listen, I own a business, I'm a professional, and I have a reputation to uphold. I'm not going to let people just say that about me. Like that's the time and place to stand up for myself.
Absolutely.
So do you feel like for you, like, are there things right now that you're getting like attacked for that you want to say something about or something you want to share right now?
Well, I think the biggest one is that I'm a homewrecker, which
what? Just because of this shit with
there was no home to be wrecked.
Yeah, I'm like, hold on. Are you a pod wrecker then?
I know, like I'm a pod wrecker. But no, I mean that alone, like
that's what these people run with. Just that,
what they run with.
Basically.
They think that I have no empathy for other people, women especially. And that's just not true. I mean, I have some of the best girlfriends, but I will say this about my girlfriends. They are real women. Yeah. They will say what they want to say to who they're going to say, and that's why we hang out. Because being honest is that. Be honest with me. I know if you're being honest with everybody else, you are going to be honest with me.
Exactly.
And they put me in my place a multitude of times, and we've had weeks of not talking, but we are meant to be friends because we always find our way back. And I think the biggest thing that it's people are running with that, saying that I infiltrated a marriage, implying that if I did that on this television show, which there was no marriage to infiltrate.
I was going to say, hello, it was an engagement. Many people call it off.
5 days.
Yeah.
Like
from a reality TV show.
Right.
Like if we're being honest, you know what I mean? Like
everybody dated everybody.
Exactly.
It's like, how come we're blaming someone for making a choice and they changed their mind? If you don't give people the ability to change their mind, we would never grow. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. That like people are like, oh, you're side salad Sarah. Which first of all, it's whoever came up with that. They need. I don't know. They deserve a cookie.
Creative for sure.
Literally, I'm just like, okay.
I got a cool nickname.
I love a side salad. So relax with all that noise, but whatever.
Sometimes the side salad is the best part of the meal.
I mean, so you haven't been Outback? Honestly,
come on.
Seriously.
The croutons,
that ranch. But yeah, I mean, like, I am just so sad that people are saying that about me.
I know.
You are not a girl's girl. False. If you are my girl, I will have your back. Like, nobody will be talking about you because, and it doesn't matter. It can be male, female, I don't know, whatever. I will look them dead in the face and be like, your best bet is to not talk about my friend around me because I will go tell them.
That's right.
Straight up.
I'm the same way.
I mean, and that's a girl's girl. But it would be absolutely impossible to be a girl's girl to every single girl in the world. And then they'll say, well, you were in the pods and you guys are bonded. Well, were we? Because when I watch the footage back, I see a different side of Laura and AD talking about me, talking poorly about me in that same setting. So
who's the real one here?
I'm confused. Yeah, I mean, you don't see me talking poorly of them.
No.
You see me talking about Jeremy openly. Maybe that hurt feelings, but I'm not going into a pod speaking poorly of another woman to the man to get him to choose me. That's not what I did. That would never be what I would do. And I would never, if I felt like there wasn't a true connection between Jeremy and I and that things weren't over, like I would never have, or if I felt like, it was really over, I would never have done that, but I had to reach out. It was my truth. It was what I needed to do for myself.
Yeah, and if your heart was telling you something, I mean, and it takes two people to do this. It's not like you just stole, you know what I mean? Like Jeremy partaked in this too. So why are these girls being like, oh my God, like
it's societal, I think.
Yeah.
I think that women get the brunt of things, and I, I have to be careful with what I say here, right? Because, you know, like, women need men need women. That's how I've always viewed it. I'm traditional like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're, you know, but I think that it would be fair to say, and I do believe a lot of women would agree, that when things happen, like, say I decide to be single and go out and I want to have, you know, sex, you know, and I do that and I'm out of wedlock, like, I am slut shamed. I am told that I'm wrong, you know, but if a man does that, oh, well, he's a man. That's what
it's expected.
It's by nature.
Yeah.
And I feel like that societal value, or what people, like, their ideology of that has carried over into the 21st century. I mean, literally, like, you see me send the message, but you're right, it takes two to tango. Mm-hmm. A man can't be taken unless he wants to be taken.
I mean, yeah, that's the first thing I thought of when I'm like, why are people hating on you for this? Because he went after it too, so clearly you both had a bond.
Because I opened the door, or I left the door open, but, like, if that's the case, then everybody in a marriage anywhere, you know, if somebody were to say on social media to them, like, hey, I'm really interested in you, it would be up to them to say, hey, no thanks. Like, I am committed. I am in a marriage. Like, no. But let's also be so real. I mean, Jeremy wasn't married yet, you know? He had just come from a situation where he had to choose between two women he had never met before and never seen before, and go with his best judgment at the time. And we've seen it so many times where on these reality shows, people are like, oh, I think I messed up. I think I made a mistake. And there was an episode or a season where Bliss and Zach had something similar. The difference was Zach proposed and they got to see the actual wedding happen. That didn't happen for Jeremy and I don't know if that's what it was, if that was the difference, but if anything, I think we got lucky because we got to carry out the majority of our relationship off screen.
Right.
You know,
because your relationship started after the season, basically. So,
yeah. But yeah, not to get off topic, but, like, that would be the one thing I think that really bothers me is that people are saying that I'm not a girl's girl, or that I would willingly invite myself into a marriage, and that's just not true.
I can just tell from meeting you, like, you aren't that girl, though. You're genuine, you're sweet, you're beautiful, you're talented, you're smart. Like, you wouldn't just go make, like, irrational decisions to hurt people.
No, I don't want to be hurt. I've been there.
Yeah.
I have been cheated on.
Yeah.
I have been hurt before. I know what that feels like, and that would be the last thing that I would wish. Heartbreak is... you really feel like you're gonna die from heartbreak sometimes.
Like your arm's falling off. It's like a part is missing.
Your arm's falling off. Am I having a heart attack or is my left arm
for real though. Heartbreak is awful.
It's horrible.
So why would you want to inflict that on someone else? You wouldn't. But like your heart wanted what it wanted. And and it's same with him. It
was a once in a lifetime experience.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I was like, well, I have to do this with all of my might. Like, I have to just, you know, I have to go all in and see it for what it is. And I will say, people get really engulfed in reality TV. They believe everything they see, you know? Yeah. And it's comical to some degree, because I'm like, are you okay?
Like, people get very intense. Like, they're dedicated, you know?
I mean, there are still Reddit stuff coming up about me, and I'm like, I haven't even really posted, and, like, you guys are still coming up with things to talk about.
Because they read into everything.
They read into everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it literally could be that I get on and make a post, and the tonality in my voice is just slightly different.
Or you post, like, a quote, and they're like, oh my gosh, what's that about? When it's like, I just liked the quote.
That was the newest. I posted a song, and it was like a song talking about a breakup, and they were like, we all know Sarah likes to talk in song, and I'm like, what? I was at the gym.
I think we were the same haters.
What's happening? I was like, are we okay? But yeah, exactly. Do you get that too? You post
they just like obsess over everything. There's like, I'm not Taylor Swift with all these hidden messages. I'm just posting something. Right. Oh, is the earring she wearing like talking about a man she's dating right now? It's like, it's a gold hoop earring from H&M for $4. Like, no, like it's just like they take like the little.
You put a ring close enough to your ring finger. Is that supposed to be on the other finger? Yeah. You're like, I really didn't put that much thought in it, but thank you so much. Yes, okay, I thought I was crazy. I was like,
they just like read into everything and make these stories. I'm like, wow, I'm learning so much about me that is not real.
I know. I'm like, wow, I have a whole like alternate personality that I knew nothing about. This is wonderful, I guess.
Do I black out and there's like another version of me somewhere because...
There's a doppelganger who's trying to live my life, or they're on the internet. You know what? That is one thing I haven't seen quite yet, but I hope I don't, and you know,
Yeah.
is, I don't know if you've ever had this, but like profiles being created.
No, I actually don't get a lot of those.
I don't either,
Yeah.
but I had one time, and it was actually before I went on television. I was like, I don't know why you're trying to be me. I only have, you know, a couple thousand followers, but whatever. But,
like,
you know,
it's an honor.
That. Yeah, and I'm surprised because, you know, so many people do hate me, so I'm surprised they're not trying to say, do something, or I don't even know.
I think now too, there's like so much with social media where they can like shut that shit down so fast. It's probably really hard to make fake accounts. Where like 10 years ago, you could like, yeah, I'm sure.
Sometimes.
My blacklist is growing every day.
Yeah, well, actually, there have been a few. I really try my best to not feed into any of the comments. Although some people get really lucky on said days, like I'll be like, I'm feeling
spicy today. I'm gonna write that
today, and it'll be like there was somebody, I wrote a post, and it was a simple post. It was like, hey, where do you guys like to shop? And somebody was like, you suck, bitch. And I literally was like, click, you suck, bitch. Like, I literally was just like, why did I just comment that back to them? That was crazy. And then they were like, yeah, kill yourself. And I was like, you're a horrible person. I blocked him, and I was like, how did that make us feel, Sarah?
Yeah.
And I was like, not that much better. Let's stop.
We're working on being less reactive because it actually doesn't feel good.
Not a good mission here. But yeah, there are a few people who have done that too. And then there was someone, I did actually have to really like step in at some point. They were doing it to myself and Jeremy, and they were like telling us to die, and they were telling us they were going to come to our home and like slit our throat. And like,
oh my God, like daily?
Every day.
Oh
like
my
since
gosh.
March, since well before the show, like it was crazy. I was like, do people message for the world? You can be found on the internet very easily.
Yeah.
Very easily. It could be a comment that you made on a post 4 years ago about an FC soccer team that you liked or something. It didn't take long. It took me all of 10 minutes to figure out who this person was.
Really?
All of her information, her LinkedIn, where she worked. Turns out she was someone who worked in the medical field and was a trauma care nurse. And I was like, I wonder if the hospital you work for knows that you bully people in your spare time on the internet.
Literally threatening to kill them.
Right, and you're supposed to be caring for people who are dying.
Yeah.
So I wrote this person, I said, I've got to be really honest with you. I didn't want to have to go this far, and then I listed off everything about her. I was like, you can be found on the internet really quickly, and I think it's time for me to go ahead and inform your employer of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And she got very apologetic, and then I was like, you know what? I'm not a crappy person, so I did not call her work.
Really?
But it was enough. I wanted to.
Look at you, girl.
Woo! I was real close.
Talk
I had
about the
number
discipline.
in hand. I was like, we're gonna call.
I'd be calling up HR, you know what?
I was like, I'm going to, and then she apologized. She's like, I need therapy, and because of the person I am, I said, you know what? I think it's really brave. I think you should probably seek therapy. I think it's a very brave thing to do, especially if you're going through something in life. But I said, it stops here. You've got to quit.
Wait, I love this. I love this because you could have been so shitty. And you weren't.
That was close.
You took the high road because I do think you're probably kind of like an empath like me. Like you feel people.
I do. When she apologized, I immediately was like, forgiven. And I'm like,
I know.
But she literally told me to go die.
I know. But it's easier to like understand people when you can meet them where they're at, when they like explain it to you. When they're like, yeah, you're right. I've been triggered and like acting out of sorts here and like I'm wrong. It's like, okay, I can at least respect that you're like owning up to it. I mean, obviously what she did was like horrible, but it's like, that's just so admirable of you to be like,
thank you,
talking through that with her.
Yeah.
And that's
I
really
told
sweet.
her, I was like, I don't want to have to do this. I was like, I have no other way to make you stop. I was like, but like, I really need you to stop. And then, you know what, like you said, like I did think about that. I was like, there is no need for me to make this person's life worse.
Yeah, like go ruin her life now when she's already clearly hurting.
Right. But I wanted to let her know that it's very possible. So if it's not to me, it could be to someone else. But
no, it's true.
It's like, thank goodness it was to me because I didn't go and,
and you're
rat you out and hurt you, because I know how it feels to not have your job, especially when, you know, I come to find out she's got a family and things like that. But I'm also like, what example are you setting for your family?
Amen, girl.
So hopefully you learn something from this.
Well, she'll think twice now because if she goes to hate somebody on the internet again, she'll be like, you know what? This is pretty easy to find me and I could lose my job.
Yeah.
I would hope that the most that can come out of this at least is that she, or at the least I guess, thinks of like you and your interaction with her.
And I didn't want her to not have her job, right? You got a family. I know how it feels to struggle. And it's like, so I don't want to put you in that position, even though you've made me feel like the scum of the earth. Like I don't matter, but like you still matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I wish more people.
You have a huge heart.
Thank you. I expect a lot of people, I think, and talking about changes in the way that like situations can, you know, make you bitter or jaded or whatever, I will say I strive really hard every day to keep my sparkle. I think I saw Megan Fox talking about like, I hope Chelsea doesn't lose her sparkle, and I'm like, I haven't yet, and I don't want to lose my sparkle, because that is what drives me to do right by people, to be a good person, you know.
I feel like we have so much in common.
Do we? I love that.
Gosh. No, I mean it, because it's like, I have so many people that come at me too, and it's like, if only people knew who I really was. Like, I'm a very caring person. I want everyone to excel.
Oh my God, you were so friendly when I walked up. I was like, I feel like I've known her for years.
Aww, I love you.
I was like, I love
and you're the same way. We have the same energy. I can just tell. And like, we just have big hearts, and we like have a soft spot for people, and we really see the good in everyone.
Yeah.
And so when people like misbehave or something, it's so easy for us to forgive and like give people a million chances, because we would want them to do the same for us, and we know what it's like to hurt.
Yeah.
And I just feel like anytime I've actually had to take action or do something when people like go too far, it still hurts me, because I don't want to have to hurt people.
Me too.
You know, it just like sucks. And it's like, why did you have to push me here?
Right.
You know, like I've gone through, like I'm literally going through a divorce. I'm like, I didn't want to have to be there.
Yeah.
But it's like, you get to that point where you finally like have to make that change, but it still is so painful to know that you're like hurting someone else.
Yep. I think about that all the time. We do have a ton in common.
Yeah.
Because I can be the person doing the breaking up, and I'm like, are you gonna be okay?
Yeah.
I need to leave you with certain things.
I know.
And I'm like,
or like set him up for success, kind of, or something. And it's like,
grown-ass man.
I know.
What am I doing? You know.
I just want to take care of everybody. It's just like how I am and how I operate. And so like when I feel like I can't, I feel like I'm letting people down, even if it's someone that's like not good for me.
Oh yeah,
it's so
too,
hard
all the time. And it's just like, I think that goes along the lines of saying like, I expect so much out of people because I give so much.
Yeah. And you hold yourself to a very high
standard.
High standard.
Yeah. And I've had people like also on the internet, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but like I had people say to me like, you're entitled, you're selfish, you are a narcissist, you're egotistical. And I'm like, when did caring about yourself, your well-being, your health, your skin, everything, why does everyone make that superficial? That is caring about my temple, my body.
And how you present yourself to the world.
Yes.
It's a self-respect.
Correct.
That's what it is.
Yep.
It's not selfish, it's self-respect.
And I think so many people, unfortunately, are fighting that battle with themselves, where they are people pleasing, and they can never get over that hump of being like, yes, but I have to do something for myself. And so it comes across as hate on other people that they see are like, wow, they're becoming the voice. They have something and are able to do something that I can't do. And that's just be myself. And it's sad. It's like people should feel, if anything, like, I feel like we just want people to be able to feel like they can be their most authentic, vulnerable self and be loved for that.
And we want to like bring them up with us.
Trauma and all, whatever it is, whatever you've done, any bad thing you've done in your life, you know, that you're loved. I think that's the hardest part, is like trying to love people that don't love themselves, you know?
Yes.
So
and I feel like I literally feel like I'm in a mirror, like just talking to myself right now. Yes. I've never talked to a woman who like has said it like that, but it's true. Because it's like, I always tell this to my friends. I'm like, for a guy, for example, that I might talk to or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, all I focus on is their potential, and I want to just extract it out of them. Yeah. And I spend all my energy trying to be like, look where you can be. Like, I know you have this in you, but if they don't love themselves, you know, it's just this battle. And then you get disappointed, but it's like, why am I disappointed? Like, I wanted them to see what I see, but they're never going to.
Or you want to take them with you. Like, even if they have something you know.
Like, I'll drag you across the train tracks with me as I'm like driving the train.
Yes, exactly. Like, and that's exactly how I feel. I'm just like, I know that it's there. I know what it could be, and I want you to believe it so bad. But you're right. Like, trying to get people to believe certain things about themselves, like the good in them or what their potential is, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I can't even begin to understand that, like what that would be like. And I think that's why I have to give people grace whenever I'm like, I can love you, but sometimes I have to love you from afar.
I always say that too. You have to love them from afar. And I feel like I just keep hearing from you, which is definitely how I am too. Like, you just don't judge people.
No, I really don't.
Even people that treat you bad, you're like, I'm not judging you because you're probably hurting. Like, in the back of my mind, when people project something on me or act a certain way to me, instead of me being judgmental, being like, wow, what a bitch. In my head, I'm like, man, they're probably having a really bad day.
Yeah.
You know? And I just can't help myself, but that's how I am.
Like, I'll be like, what a mean, nasty person. But I'm also like, yeah, but they're probably saying that because things aren't great. Like, maybe they don't, maybe they're telling me that I'm ugly because they don't feel good about themselves. And that's terrible, because I can tell you what you just said. Like, I don't judge you know who I judge?
Yeah, yourself.
The most.
We'll get back to the podcast in just a moment. This episode is sponsored by AN Skin, your answer for all things skincare and beauty. Our medical-grade products, made in the USA, use high-quality ingredients and are clinically proven to give you clear, healthy, youthful skin. Everything is cruelty-free. Visit anskinbeauty.com to shop now and regain your confidence. Now, back to the episode.
Does your family just think this is all some crazy bullshit, or what do they feel about it?
My dad, I think, wants to be my PR dude. He loves it.
He wants to be your PR dude?
I swear, he is a cheese ball.
Is he over here like, even bad PR is good PR?
Oh my
Come
God.
on, baby.
My dad is
Get those haters riled up today, honey.
Yeah, he likes the love and he's happy for me. And he's like, but listen, he's always like, sis, listen. Here's the thing. You give him something to chew on. Put it out there. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And I keep telling, he's like, you're a chicken shit. Just put it out there. And I'm like, Dad. And he was like, well, you know, what are they going to do? Hate some more? And I was like, you know, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Like, why are you annoying? But like, you're kind of right. he just wants a Lamborghini or something one day. So
he's like, I'll make some money off this daughter.
Yeah, like dead ass. I'm like, Dad, you know how dads are. They're just whatever.
I know.
My mom, you know, when I first applied, or I didn't really apply, I was reached out to on Instagram. I was approached and then applied from their little scammy looking ordeal on Instagram. And I but all right.
Like, is this even real? Sure,
oh my
whatever.
God. I thought somebody was trying to send me a code and like get my banking information. It was weird. But I went and I was like, all right, cool. And then like when I told them like, hey, you know, obviously they chose me to be on the show. They were like, oh, really? And my mom's like, you know, I just worry. She's like, I just worry because like, what if something happens or it does go a certain way? And, you know, she's like, because I know you. And she's like, you speak your mind. And she's like, and I feel like that could go a certain way. And then like, everybody will see it. How will you feel? And I was like, I honestly like, in my normal day-to-day life, like could care less that somebody's like, oh, you said this. And I'd be like, all right, cool. Yeah, I did. So my family very much supportive. They did a whole watch party, all that
did they
jazz.
Really?
They did, you know, and you know, but I think after the fact, after seeing that, how I was portrayed, everybody was kind of like angry. I mean, like literally, my family was in the comments, like trying to fight everyone,
like defending you.
Yeah, like you don't know what you're talking about, and I had to finally tell them, like, I love you guys. I love that you're supporting me. But the thing is now you're going to get the wrath of the beast, of the internet beast, because they're going to start saying things to you. And that's exactly what happened. So, but.
Like they went after your family because they realized who they were. Then they're like, oh, it's her mom. It's her sister. It's whatever. Yeah.
100%. And then they started being like, you're a liar. You're not her real mom. Like, what the hell?
Like, she only birthed me, but it's fine.
We had a Christmas photo on my mom's page, dude. Like, I'm confused. They were, you know, my mom was a little bit more... She was being a mom, you know, she's like, I just don't know how it's going to go. And I just worry that she's like, I know you're a strong person, but
you're her baby. And she knows like,
yep. And she wants to take everybody out. It's after me. My dad, he's ate up. He loves it, you know, and then my siblings are kind of indifferent. They're so engulfed in their own life that they're like, oh yeah, she's on a show. But you know, what's funny is none of them were surprised. Yeah. You know? They're like,
that's kind of how siblings are, though. They're like, meh, figure it out, whatever.
They're like, okay.
Like unfazed almost.
Like, of course, you know, my brother's like, she would be the one to end up on TV, you know, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know, I think my family's always known that. I'm the first to say that, like, if I had a dream of what I could do for the rest of my life that would make me a livelihood or I could have a good living and something I'm passionate about, I really, really would go and speak. I would be like a TED talker.
Yes.
I would go and then I would be like, can I also go to schools and talk and like just offer up advice? Like, I've been bullied so many times in my, you know, my youth and my adult life.
We are literally the same person. I was bullied my whole life.
Me too.
Whole life.
And
I mean,
like
kindergarten up.
Same.
Because we're different.
Yeah.
Because we're nice people. We let people walk all over us because we see the good in them. We give people a million chances. Yeah. You're pretty. You're hardworking. You're probably really good in school. Good at sports. I could list the whole thing. But when you look back, it's like, it's hard to say, like, yeah, I was the shit, and that's why they hated me. Because we're not, like, conceited like that, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But it is why. It's because we were successful.
Has to be.
It is.
Has to be.
Yeah.
But, like, it's so hard because, like, as I've gotten older, I'm like, now that I am where I am, how do I use this to make an impact? I want to be the person that is a light for those that don't know how to stand up for themselves. And, you know, like I was bullied just this year by my boss. I had to quit my job of 4 years because my HR department wouldn't do anything. They were not.
Are you serious?
I'm so serious.
Because of your...
My boss is my same age. Actually, she's a year younger than me. Or what? My old boss, you're younger than me. Yeah, I found out she created a whole Love is Blind channel at work, on Teams. She claimed
like against you?
I don't know what was in it, but
either way, you weren't in it. That's really sketchy.
Correct. And she said, like, you know, like, she would say comments like, well, I just don't like Jeremy. And I'm like, you don't even know him. Like,
it's
you're
a
my
show.
boss.
Why are you acting like this is like, I feel like she's crossing the line.
She was crossing the line,
anymore.
but like she was like saying snide things to me, and then like when things wouldn't go her way, she would either like take it out on me, and then it came down to her being like, well, is this show gonna affect your work? And I'm like, it hasn't thus far, so like I'm confused.
Yeah.
So like I basically, you know, I ended up being like, all right, it's time for me to go. I found a new job. Got my offer letter, and I let her know. I had to tell her though. I was like, listen, like the reason I'm leaving is because of you. I was like, you are not in my corner. You are crossing boundaries. I was like, my professional life should stay separate from anything I'm doing in my personal life.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, what other place could you work at where that would be okay? Nowhere. But because you're on reality TV, they just don't take you seriously.
And and it's kind of like those girls I mentioned. How I was like the girls that were sitting next to me. They're in what world would anybody do that to someone that doesn't have any TV presence?
That's exactly how I felt when you told me. I'm like, where would this ever be okay? Why is it now just because she's on a TV show?
Because they think in their mind.
Like, you think she's not a real human with a real soul and heart?
Correct. They're like, oh, you put yourself out there, so you opened yourself up to it.
Like it's like you deserve it, they're acting like. And it's like, that's not how this works though.
I have been on a couple different podcasts. I've talked to news outlets, but I've never been comfortable enough to say, like, I'll stand up for myself all day long, but I get really defensive. I have not been able or given the opportunity to feel comfortable in the presence of someone to say, but you're wrong. This is who I really am. This is who I truly am. So I appreciate you more than you will ever know. I really do. And you bring so much joy to my life. Like, that's what I'm learning. I'm learning that people are teaching me. Like, what you're saying is teaching me. It's giving me light, you know? So it's not just about me making a difference. It's about meeting people like yourself that are changing my life every day. So I'm just so happy that you had me on.
Me too. I think we're going to be besties.
I think so too.
My new Charlotte friend.
We like Mitchell Tenpenny.
Yeah, we bonded over that. I'm like, wait, you're going to Mitchell Tenpenny next weekend? Can I come? Should I fly in for a day?
Honestly, I'm a +1, so if you decide
I'll be your +1 any day, girl.
Listen, I am here for that. But yeah, no, I truly, Ashley, also too, like, I just think I just feel like I am such a firm believer in like my faith, and I think that God does everything for a reason. So I don't know. I also feel like I need to steal all your style now and your workout routines and everything. So you just opened Pandora's box.
I got you.
You think this is fun now? No. I'm like, girl, where'd you get that? What are you doing?
Oh no, I love friendships like that. Like, give me all the intensity because
Okay, good. Yeah.
I want to be needed.
I'm a lot for a lot of people, but I'm like,
I always say too. I'm like, I'm so needy, and I love people who are needy to me.
Yeah, well, perfect. Then we're gonna get along great. So we really are.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for being here. I need to give you a hug. It's gonna look awkward, and I don't care. But
it's okay. And I have a tissue in my hand. Thank you so much. This was beautiful. I feel very like. I do feel so full.
I know. My heart is filled right now.
Sometimes I get, this is so crazy. So on my way here, I knew you felt like you could tell I was flustered. I was.
Know. And I was trying to be like, babe, it's fine.
Yeah.
Take your time. Like, we're good. It's all good.
I literally got in my car and I was like, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. And then I was like, just drive. We can't get in an accident for this. We have to get this done.
Right.
And then like I walked in and I was like, okay, like zen out. We're good. And then now I just feel renewed.
Me too. So. I'm like, this is what I live for. Like these deep connections.
Is this what made you get into this? Like, see, if making people feel good and like whatever is like, and also getting something from it, like yourself, like.
It's like a therapy session.
It really is. Like I don't even know where to start with.
You watch out, world. Sarah Ann is gonna have a podcast, and it's gonna be top of the charts.
Listen.
It
ain't got a name. It might be side salad or something. Should I name it Side Salad Sarah? Like, tune in to Side Salad? No, that's crazy. I would love to do something like that. I don't know I don't even know where to get started. Like, that's the biggest thing. And
I'll teach you.
really?
You just gotta do it. I just did it, and here we are.
I mean, I'm sure y'all know this, but I don't have any media training. None. Zero. Zilch. And so, like...
We do now. You were on an intense reality TV show, so you got
I was just raw dogging in there the whole time. Like, I was just like, you know what? There was one night I got drunk a little bit, and you know how you, like, X people off and, like, you're trying to pick your people? Trevor was on there, and I remember I was drinking a little bit of wine, and one of the girls, she was talking about Trevor, and she's like, yeah, he's great. And I said, really? I said, I should have kept Trent on my list. She's like, I'm sorry? And I said, yeah. And she's like, there's no Trent here.
Yeah.
I was like, never mind, we made a good choice. I was like,
you can't remember his dang name.
Don't even know his name. Like, it was just so funny. And so, like, I did have a connection with some of the women, like Chelsea and Brittany, but then, you know, of course, everybody followed their ringleader.
That we'll discuss now. And I'm just kidding.
On the next episode. Starts going down this rabbit hole. Yeah, no, but it's crazy. I can't even believe, like, that this is all just where it's at right now.
Well, it's about to lead you to great places, so. I love you, girl. Thank you guys so much for listening. Until next time, be loud, be proud, and be shameless.
For more information, visit us at anskinbeauty.com to shop all our medical grade skincare.